getting hitters out consistently in recent starts. So this becomes a big start for him. He has to find a way to shut down a powerful Atlanta offense.
You're right, and it was just not too long ago that we were all thinking that, hey, Charlie Morton right now is throwing the ball really good. He looks like he might be the number 2 starter behind Tarek Skubal. He needs to turn it around, and I look at maybe, just that I'm pitching against one of my old former teams in the Atlanta Braves, maybe a little bit of incentive, a little shot in the arm, and he'll come out and have that real good performance.
6:40 start, and then 2 day games after that, but a 6:40 start tomorrow night. We'll be on the air starting at 6:15. It's going to wrap things up from here at the ballpark. Our thanks to our engineers today, Jenny Hornatsky back in our studios in Southfield, Mr. Tim Jeske with us here at the ballpark. For my partner Dan Petrie, I'm Dan Dickerson. Again, the final score, Guardians sweep the Tigers with a 3-1 win. Thanks for listening. Have a great evening, everyone.
Detroit Tigers baseball. Brought to you by Sam Bernstein Law, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, Jack Demmer Ford, Corewell Health, Jack Demmer Lincoln, Fago, Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical, The D Las Vegas, Metro Detroit Buick GMC Dealers, Northville Lumber, Feiger Law, Meyer, Comerica, McLaren Health, Wallside Windows, and Little Caesars Pizza. This is the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. This Odyssey Sports broadcast has been brought to you by Geico. Switch and save. Get more with Geico.
Okay, here's the show we didn't want to do, but we got to do it. Welcome in. If you're leaving the ballpark, phone lines are open. If you're driving around and you listen to the game on 97.1, we thank you. Phone lines are open. Or if you just have a pulse in your body and you want to talk Tigers, phone lines are open. Cleveland comes to town. I told you they needed a sweep to get anyone's attention. They did exactly that. And honestly, this team can't play worse. Rico, I'll lay it out. I hope it doesn't come across as lazy. I just think it's the only relevant question. What's your panic level? Scale of 1 to 10. And if you're not panicked, you just have to answer. And remember, while you still have an over 90% chance to make the playoffs, no one is arguing that. And while you still have a 90% chance to win the division, you now have a less than 50% chance, according to Fangraphs, of holding on to the bye. You're at 48%. That's critical. It's critical to get rest. It's critical to set your rotation. It's critical to just not have to play in a wacky 3-game series. Mm-hmm. So that is where concern would lie. Rico, just go ahead, man. Let's just dive in. 248-539-9797. I do have one thing I want to say when you're done. Go ahead.
Concern level is high, Mike. It's extremely high because Skubal was supposed to be the guy who stopped the bleeding, the Band-Aid, the get-right person. This was the game where you would take a deep breath. Okay, we've now got the lead back, and we'll go ahead and cruise in. He went out there. He pitched well. He didn't get the run support, and now you're sitting there looking because it's a bad look. Like I said, I'm at a 10 because the Cleveland Indians, the Guardians are playing playoff baseball right now. The Tigers are trying to get themselves into that playoff mode. I think that they've been kind of in cruise control, and now they see the sense of urgency is there because you're seeing the Guardians making the big play when they needed to, scoring all the runs when they need to. And here's the thing. Now you get ready to take on a team that's riding a 5-game winning streak in the Atlanta Braves, who all of a sudden decide they wanted to play baseball again. So it's
if the Braves had left-handed pitching, you'd be dead. Because apparently Riley Green just shouldn't play against lefties, and Carp doesn't. So I got nothing for you.
Yeah, I mean, this is wow. This weekend series will say a lot about this team. Yes, percentages say that they should make, but I don't think that they're going to get the bye. And
well, then your panic should be 10.
I said it's a 10. Oh,
yeah,
no, mine's
yeah,
a 10.
I'm with you, brother. The bye. Look, here's the thing, Rico. Since the All-Star break, you've played 56 baseball games. Do you know what your record is in those games?
What's that?
26-30. What you did in April and May does not matter. And the way they're playing now, look, let me just make this one. I got to say this because while I wasn't listening to the game, I was watching it. Look, I'm not trying to be nasty, but I'm just going to say something. Like, I don't know Andy Dirks, nor do I want to. But he unleashed a take in the ninth inning of that game. And I'm sorry. As a baseball fan, I'm insulted. Oh, well, Jason, look at the bright side. These last 9 games are now sure going to be exciting. What fan left the ballpark with that take? What person listening on 97.1 or watching left their television or radio with, oh, hey, Martha, yeah, guess what? Tigers just got broomed out, but hey, going to be an exciting last 9. Mm-hmm. Exactly no one.
Right.
That's shameful. If that's what you're thinking, keep it to yourself. But come on, man. You just got swept out of town. I don't need that. I don't think any fan needs that. Again, I'm not trying to be nasty, but good grief.
No, I'm with you. I think most Tiger fans had moved over and said, okay, we're going to be in the playoffs. Let's focus a little bit on the Lions. And then after the Monday night game, we'll pick up the Tiger team and we'll know exactly where we are in the playoffs. Well, newsflash, you better pay attention to this team because, hey, these last 9 games, Mike.
Yeah, here you go. To win the division, 91%. To clinch the bye, a top 2 seed, 48.1. Make the playoffs is irrelevant. It's 96.6. We can revisit that type of panic. As Rico, you just so astutely said, if this weekend doesn't go their way, we're going to have a whole different conversation Monday. But I'm not going to future cast panic. My panic level is in a weird spot. If it's in relation to clinching the bye and having their best chance to make an organized and impactful run in the playoffs, that's a 10. The panic otherwise about just get in with a chip in a chair, no, it's like a 2. Because I don't think Cleveland can keep doing this. This is their brand of voodoo, where basically they don't allow any runs. That's just not sustainable. Now, against you it is, because this lineup's a train wreck. I mean, whether it's Wensiel Perez, who's like 5 for his last 50, or, look, Riley Green had some quality at-bats. They just resulted in nothing, but he's not any good right now. You don't play Carey against lefties. It was awesome to see him last night get an at-bat against a lefty and hit a double, but the rest of this lineup, like, yeah, this is the playoffs.
Yeah.
This is what teams are going to do to you. So I'm a 10 as it would relate to, hey, are they going to have their best chance to get rest, get healthy, and organize the rotation? It doesn't look like it.
Yeah. See,
go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm at a 10 because this, I think, is today was every Tigers fan worst nightmare as far as going far. Yes, you'll make the playoffs, but it's what you do in the playoffs. What happens if you go out there in game 1 and Skubal does what he did today and only allow 1 run and you still walk away with a loss knowing that was your best chance for a victory?
Yeah.
Now what do? What's plan
B? Cleveland had a game plan. They waited Skubal out.
Yes.
A lot of their damage. And when I say damage, I just mean affecting the pitch count. If you have a 7-pitch at bat and you hit a bleeder for a single, the damage is the cumulative to the pitcher and the pitch count. He had a 20-plus pitch inning and a 30-plus pitch inning. You knew in the 4th inning, Skubal wasn't getting to the 7th and probably would struggle to get to the 6th. Now, again, that's more playoff-like in that teams will value their at-bats more. I don't know, man. Like I said, if you want to call up and say you're not panicked, that has to be related to making playoffs. And I'm with you. But as far as you were 25 games over, you were 15 games up, The thought of not having a bye in the opening round of the playoffs, it was a 0 for me, provided they won a game here. Getting broomed out. And by the way, Rico, and you know this, Guardians didn't have their complement of bullpen arms.
No.
I mean, Cade Smith wasn't available today. They had to throw Heron out there again. It's just, I think at that level, no, I'm gravely concerned because they're not now and haven't been a very good baseball team in quite some time. Mm-hmm. Playoffs are weird. I can try to remain positive and go, look, yeah, just get in and maybe the light switch goes on, but I'm grasping at straws a little bit here because, Rico, they don't make the smart play right now. They're making a lot of mental errors. They're not playing crisp baseball. And when push comes to shove, like you look at this series, Stephen Kwan, who's a star, won the Guardians a game. J-Ram, who's a superstar, won the Guards a game. You don't have those people. You can convince yourself for Riley Green, who's had a very nice year. I hesitate to call him a superstar. And what? Carey, who only plays part-time. Like, you see it sometimes that you just need the dude. Mm-hmm. You know, last year everybody was playing tummy sticks. Oh, my God, Ibanez won us a series. That is shadows and dust. Yeah. Doesn't happen. You can't lean on the Andy Ibanezes of the world.
Yeah,
So,
you need that everyday dude in the everyday lineup to do something because, yeah, your pitcher went out there, did. And, Mike, I think you put it best. The Guardians just waited knowing Skubal's not going to go 9. Keep this thing close. Let's get to the bullpen, and then we'll do our damage.
248-539-9797. Didn't want to do it. All they need to do is win a game this series. If they did it, we're not doing the show. But they didn't. The lead's 3.5. And, yeah, this weekend, I mean, anything other than 2 out of 3 against the Braves. Guys, it's to a point now you gotta try to hold on to this bye. Forget about the division right now. I'm not going to get that. Like, hey, if you enter Monday and this leads at 1.5, we're going to have a different conversation. Mm-hmm. But as Rico likes to yell at me about Michigan State, I want to stick to the principles. I'm not going to future cast it.
That's personal growth.
I'm trying. And, because, again, Rico, like, I can't demand people be panicked. They are going to make the playoffs. But the best chance to win it and all the work that went in and the position you would put yourself in, no, I have some real doubts about their ability to get that done right now.
Yeah, as you should, Mike, because once it's almost as if playing the 500 baseball is starting to catch up to them because they're now trying to get back to where they were at the beginning of the season, where they were knocking the cover off the ball, where they were making the right plays, where they were doing the right things. Now it's okay. They're like stuck in this malaise, and it's like, guys, you need to wake the F up. Like, the playoffs are almost here, and we're still
How much
playing
of this
the same
in your
way.
mind? Hold on, I want to ask you a question, and I don't want people to misconstrue this. It's not an insult; it's a question. Rico, Occam's razor. How much of this is they're just not that good? That collectively they're better together. And when it was all rolling, it was kind of voodoo. They were never a 25 games over team. When you break it down individually, who on this team starts for the Dodgers? Who on this team starts for these really good baseball? Like,
Who's
that's
starting for the Phillies? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is that when it comes down to it, eventually Zach McKinstry is Zach McKinstry. That's not an insult. He's a major league player. He's in the 0.01% at his craft on the globe. But within Major League Baseball, he's a bottom percentile player. That's not a real all-star. That's not a guy I want in a seminal moment of my season. Not an insult. It's reality. It's like saying that Rico is a good singer in the shower. He's not Diana Ross. It's not an insult. It's just reality.
I think you put it so bluntly, but I think you're correct that maybe they're just not that team. And it's a thing that we've been saying all year long, but they kept winning, so we had to push it to the side. But yeah, man, rubber's meeting the road, and you're seeing that. Yeah, they're just not that team. They're
this
not that
weekend.
guy.
This weekend would take on an actual panic if it doesn't go well, and the Guards keep doing their thing. We'll have a different convo Monday. I'm not panicked about playoffs, but I am about a 7 out of 10 panicked that they're going to spit the bit and not hold on to the bye. That's where I'm at. I'd love to hear from you guys. Apparently, we've got a bunch of people ready to talk. We're here for it. Yeah, we're going to have a therapy session because they lost the Scooble start in a must-win game that could have really ended it. And, yeah, they didn't want it. 248-539-9797. We'll get to you guys and your thoughts next. 97.1. All right, we're going to get right to the phones. I just want to pass along a stat because I don't want to say something and then you guys think it's disrespectful of the opponent. That's not how I'm playing. But why I said the Guardians can't keep doing what they're doing, in their last 15 games, fellas, 15. Do you know how many times they've allowed more than 2 runs?
I believe once.
Twice. There's pitching, there's elite pitching, and then there's Planet Nebular. So, again, they outplayed you in every way. Better at bats, better defense, better timely hitting, and frankly, their best 2 players were a lot better than your best 2. But that's a voodoo like you. There is also some symmetry, by the way. How inexplicable what you were doing was last year is almost as inexplicable as your very collapse and what's being done to you. Let's get to the people. We start out right from the top. Jake, 97.1. Jake, what's going on?
Hey, Mike. Hey, Rico.
Hey, Jake.
So, panic level, 10.5.
Okay.
This team, the way they're playing, might miss the playoffs altogether. If they don't win the division, they get thrown into the wild card mix with Seattle and Boston. Seattle battling for the West. They're only 2 games behind the Tigers right now at 83 wins. So I could potentially see them missing the playoffs altogether. Thanks for taking my call.
And I'm being respectful. I'm not going there until Monday. You would need to show me the weekend's a disaster. I'm not going to do that because, again, your playoff odds, according to Fangraphs, even if you think they're way too optimistic at 96.6%. Here, I'll give you discount days, Rico. Call it 85%. You can't say things. If you have an 85% chance of getting in, I don't think you can talk about not getting in. Is that fair? That's not right.
No.
I can talk about not getting the bye.
Correct. Now, get swept this weekend, and we start this conversation all over. Right now, my panic meter is just high because this doesn't look like a team that's prepared for the playoffs. This looks like a team that just kind of cashed out a long time ago, and they're looking for that first round knockout.
I don't think it's cash out. I don't think they're that good. It goes all the way back to where I said to you, no, they're not better than a 90-win team. No, I'm not doing this euphoria crap. No, I'm not opening every show with, first to 40, first to 50. Everybody was crank yanking out of control. No, I know what I know. They're a good baseball team. They're not a great baseball team. So here they are. Oh, by the way, did you see Hinch's quote about Colt Keith? No. Keith got hurt
I just
today,
saw it, yeah.
Was grabbing his side/back. He's going for imaging. AJ termed it. It's very concerning.
Wow. This is, David, I'm with you.
Just rubbing your head.
David's rubbing his forehead.
Another thing.
Not the news that you want to hear. And, I didn't think that being swept by the Guardians was even on the table.
I don't think getting swept by anyone is when you're a good baseball team. You just get one. And the fact is they had Skubal backloaded to go out and deliver. Now, look, if Skubal got rocked today, that's different. Or if he got hurt, God forbid. But Rico, he pitched well. Was it his best? No, but it was good. And it was good enough to win. Mm-hmm. And, again, their best guys were better than your best. Best on best. Mm-hmm. Kwan and J-Ram or Carp and Riley. Or Riley and Glaber, whoever you think your 2 best are. Let's go to Nolan, 97.1. Nolan, what's going on, brother?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I wish I was better. Every time the Tigers play Cleveland, I have it almost affects my entire day. Like the whole series, okay. It is a absolute frustrating experience to watch or listen to. I know you mentioned the last 15 games, that pitching staff that they have. That's, they have great pitching. They always have, but that's to a point that you can't even explain it. I think it was either yesterday or the day before. It might have been both games, actually. I always like to watch the expected batting average for both teams when the Tigers and the Guardians play each other. And it's generally like you can't really – and obviously good defense is a part of it as well. That they have. Stephen Kwan showed us the last couple of days. but I think it was yesterday. The Tigers had an expected batting average of like in the 280s, and Cleveland was in the low 200s, and they just figure it out. And I have no words anymore. I really don't. And I kind of checked out a little bit, this last couple of weeks with football coming around, kind of assuming that they're just going to cruise their way into the bye, and then we're going to pick up next week, like Rico said, after Monday Night Football. But now we're at the point I'm extremely concerned, and I really have no words for this anymore. Kind of like last year, but in reverse.
See, I think what you're saying, Nolan, Rico, I don't know if you're where I'm at, but I don't think it's rage for people. I think it's apathy. I think the trade deadline was kind of like a weird hors d'oeuvre where Scott Harris told you what he thinks about his team. And everybody all summer in town touching themselves about the farm system. Well, cool. That farm system going to help you win a World Series this year? But that's my whole point.
No.
Like all of that puffery, here we are, and I'm going, oh man, like when Scott Harris did that interview, and it was how proud he was to get this Paddock deal done. I'm like, Chris Paddock?
Yeah,
Chris Paddock,
yeah,
the guy with a 6 ERA who you jettisoned to the pen. That?
Yeah, but see, I think for a lot of people, when you didn't see the major moves at the trade deadline, it was kind of, as we like to say, here's what they think about you. Here's what they think about themselves. So you can't get excited because it's like, well, I guess these are the guys we're going to battle with, and
they need
wait
Riley
and see.
Green desperately.
Yeah,
Riley's basically 10 for his last 60. I'm spitballing, but it's close. Like, they need Riley Green desperately. Let's go over to William, 97.1. How you doing, Will?
Hey, guys, let's keep it brief. I was actually at the game today, and I'll be honest, I didn't know what I was expecting because I had been watching all the games this year, and I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I know they've been playing bad since that Seattle series back in early July, but, I feel like at least in this series anyway, because I had been paying close attention to this series as one diehard like myself would, they seemed to me like every at-bat, they were trying to work the count, but would always fall behind. I didn't quite understand what the approach was, and it seems like to me, all the guys who were hot in the first half, Baez, McKinstry, I don't know, some other people had brought it up, those guys ran out of their pixie dust and just their fluke run in the first half, as hard as it is to say. And it seems like the guys you want to rely on aren't doing it. It's just really hard to watch right now, and I'm really concerned, especially with this weekend. It was like you said, Atlanta has won 5 in a row, and you got to face the guy who you used to have in your system, and Joey Wentz on Saturday, so you can have a revenge game there. I'm not very optimistic at all at the moment.
No, I understand. And like I said, I'm not going to panic about this weekend yet. They got to take 2 or 3. I mean, that's the standard boilerplate. Hey, let's get back on track. Just take 2 or 3. Yeah. The math is your friend here. You know what I'm saying, Rico? Like I'm not selling people a dream like other people. I'm just selling you reality. Take 2 or 3, please.
Yeah, the only problem is, like I said, the Braves have won 5 in a row, and they're not going to cover off the ball. So I don't know what happened, but this is, yes, take 2 of 3. Everything goes back to normal, and we're talking Lions-Ravens on Monday.
Well, yeah, and again, if you're down on this team as far as their postseason prospects, totally get it. Because the only thing I could sell you has nothing to do with how you feel. It's that, well, #baseball's weird. Maybe they start playing well. Of any team trying to make the playoffs right now, no one's playing worse.
Is that the baseball equivalent of puck luck? Baseball's weird.
Honestly, yes. This is the equivalent of shoot the puck guy yelling. You fire it. It goes off a sack, off a skate, off a face, off a post, off a blocker, and in. That's what it is. You're hoping. You're throwing YOLO balls.
Yeah.
But baseball is strange, and there is somewhere in here a good team. But it has to, you know what it is, Rico? Everything has to work together for the Tigers to get anywhere because they don't have the talent for it all not to go together and still win. They don't have it. Look at that lineup and tell me if that's going to be on the World Series trophy with those names engraved.
If it is, it'll be the team that people will talk about the way they talk about the Cardinals that barely made it into the playoffs and won the World Series. That's what the Tigers will become. the new
Anthony
Cardinals.
Reyes flat brim.
Right.
All right. 5 words nobody wants to hear. You need a new roof. What do you do? Who do you call? How are you going to pay for it? All questions that run through people's minds. Why don't we get this handled? Victor's Home Solutions. New roof will be the easiest, most hassle-free home improvement project you'll ever do. Victor's, thousands of 5-star reviews. They offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. And the precision craftsmanship, and they keep your yard clean. It's first class. Victor's offers 5-year, no-interest financing, minimum monthly payments. So if you need a new roof, don't stress. Victor's has got your back. It starts with that 21-point roof inspection. Set it up today, 866-VICTORS. That's 866-VICTORS, or online anytime at victors.com. All right. David, if you'd be so kind, ticket text, we're going to get right back to the people. This is the show we wanted to avoid. I do think panic goes in 2 different silos. Panic about losing the bye, that's a 10. You're now an under 50% shot to hold on to the top 2 seed. Panic about playoffs is a 0 because of math. It's math. you have a 96% chance of making the playoffs. I can't panic. It's like people when they panic and they fly, like they're going to get hit by an asteroid. You have better odds dying on the toilet than you do in an airplane. But it is what it is. If you want to be irrational, panic. I don't know what to tell you. Now, panic about playoff success? No, you do your thing. I mean, when Rico knows this, when we've reached the phase where old Nona is trying to be the ray of sunshine and go, well, anything can happen, you know you're effed. You know you're effed. No, they're not. They haven't been a very good baseball team in almost 80 games. Under 500 since the All-Star break. They're tanking down the stretch. You're losing series to bad teams, and you got swept today by a Guardians team who played playoff baseball. So, David, a few ticket texts. First time we check in all day today.
From Ryan, I'm 9.5 at the Panic about winning the division and doing anything in the playoff. This team is driving me nuts, he says.
Yeah, that's real quick because I know we got a rifle ticket text. Does that make sense to those of you who vilified me for saying, look, they're not a fun watch. I don't like watching this team play. And you'd go, but they're winning. It's the equivalent of watching Iowa football.
Wow.
They win, but I don't like it.
That's just what I was thinking. Like, they're Iowa football. Yeah.
Like, instead of wearing a shirt that says, I root for the punter, it's, I root for the matchup. Mm-hmm. That's tough for me. David, go ahead.
Panic is at a 10. This is from Kevin in Arbor. I feel like the Tigers are the Minnesota Vikings from last year, and it's all fake. We will miss the bye and be taken out in the first round.
Man, you know what? I think maybe that's where a lot of panic is coming from, is you don't feel like this is a World Series contending team, and they've been winning from start to now. And yet you
But they
just
haven't.
Yeah.
Rico. 26-30 since the All-Star break.
No, I mean, because you got out to the big lead,
right?
You've been running the table for the division, so you just want to feel like, yes, we're going to be sitting at the VIP table, but then you just throw that question mark at the end, like, are we?
Panic is at a 10, and I'm also sick of Torkelson. That is from Jason. Someone else texts in and
says,
I would
need to understand your issue with Torque. If you want to say defensively or on the base paths, a couple of gaffes this series. I understand that. He did have a 3 or 4 hit game. I don't, without more detail, I'm not sure what grievance we're filing.
But he also hit a home run in extra innings when it didn't matter. We were down 4, 2 runs didn't matter.
Hey, welcome to my life with A-Rod.
Got you. Understood.
King of the I'm down 6-1 homer.
This is what happens when your GM takes the quote-unquote we're good approach. And then listen to this.
How about this? Hold on before you get to that. Let's be real about this for a second, all right? Of the bats that were traded, none of them been any good. That doesn't mean they wouldn't have been here. The pitching, hey, I never wanted Chris Paddock or Charlie Morton, all right? You can knock that. The bullpen arm, was it enough to get Finnegan? Probably not, but it was something. All I'm saying is this. When you're not willing to give up anything of substance, you're not going to get anything of substance back. And when we read articles about what it's like to try to deal with the Tigers, that tells you something. Then factor in what Rico and I have said. Maybe Scott Harris was telling you what he thinks when he looks in the mirror at his team. Mm-hmm. Nothing I do is fixing this. Wait for the kids.
Dom in a truck sends this. It's hard to believe right now. Scuba lined up for the second to last game of the season. If they don't lock anything up and he don't get the bye, Scuba is most likely only available for now game 3, which means the Tigers have a scenario they get into playoffs, potentially get broomed out without Scuba ever throwing a single playoff pitch.
Wow. Shout out Ace Ventura. All righty then.
Tigers are bored. They will be locked in when the playoffs start. ALCS appearance, maybe World Series, but the chip is going to Philly or the Dodgers.
No.
Is that from Andy walking from the ballpark?
But how do you know that? How can you say that with any level of certainty or definitively make that statement?
You can't say that, Kenny, because
you
right
can.
now you can't say they were bored because this was a playoff series. Even AJ said it feels like a playoff series. You can't be bored. You had a chance to put the Guardians away, and you
That's
didn't.
copium, baby.
Yeah.
I ain't here for the copium. You can tell me, hey, playoffs are wild. Cool. I got you. The whole, well, they're bored. You don't get it. They weren't bored in this series. They were gripping.
You know what? I would give you bored if they had like a 15, 20-game lead over the division. Like, guys, there's really nothing to play for. Let's power it down for a few weeks. But no, you've been watching your lead dwindle down. You cannot be bored.
Plus,
you see what we see.
Who the hell are you to get bored? You haven't won a World Series in 42
Okay, Mike
years.
wins.
No. It's not about that. I'm just saying, like, who the hell are you? What are you, the Dodgers? You're bored? You're busy at the jeweler polishing last year's World Series ring? Yeah. Come on. I mean, gee whiz, guys. Let's go over to Matt, 97.1. Matty, what's going on, buddy?
I quit drinking, but after this game, I might go get me a drink.
No.
No, I'm not, man. I haven't had a drink in almost 4 years.
Let's leave it at that.
I personally, my level is at a 10. I'm with Rico. As far, they'll make the playoffs, but who they play, like these next 3 games, they have to win 2 out of 3. Let's assume, because Skubal's probably not going to play in any of them, so it's going to be bullpen games. And normally, from the bullpen games I've watched, they usually lose. So I really don't, and I'm not trying to be negative, but I don't think they're going to win 2 out of 3. They might not even win any of them. I'm hoping for at least 1. But I saved this comment for last in case it offends anyone. When is the point where we hold AJ down and kick him in the nuts for not doing anything at the trade deadline?
Well, AJ Hinch doesn't make those decisions, so I think you mean Scott Harris. I just want to be clear.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Sorry.
I think it's fair. I think last year was magic. I don't think it was expected. Remember, you sold at the deadline. And I think this all traces back to you did the best you could to get Alex Bregman, and you came up short. I've never been mad at them for it. I thought they made a very respectful offer. If you get Alex Bregman, it probably doesn't go this way. But they never were able to circle around and get the help they needed, either because it wasn't there or they didn't want to. It sounds like they didn't want to. And again, Matt, it goes to Yzerman's comment yesterday about the Wings. The Tigers and the Wings are the same team in that the approach is the same. Wait for the kids. That's all this is.
Yeah, and I'm hoping they get better and do better for the postseason, but my worry is they're going to get to the playoffs and get knocked out of the first round. And that's where my level is.
Matt, and honestly, Matt, I think there's a portion of the fan base, and I'm not saying you're a part of that. I think there's a portion of the fan base that is going, you know what? I've had enough of these guys. Just lose, get out of my way, and give me my football. I've had enough. There's going to be, and then, the diehard positivity group will be like, how dare you? You're bad. They're not bad. It's just they look at it and they go, I don't even like watching this.
Because it was fun last year, because it was a novelty, because everybody got behind the team. Yeah. And then this year, you wanted to see a new step forward, and you feel like you're standing in the same spot. Like, okay, guys, we've done this before. Like, this was, you're a one-hit wonder, and then you come out with a song, and it's like, that sounds like your old song. Give me something new, and you didn't get new this year.
You just described Prince's career. 248-53. No, I'm sorry. I'm projecting. I'm hurt. My team's an 18-point underdog Saturday night. I'd like to apologize to you. 248. I knew as soon as that comment went out there. That was right there. 248-539-9797. More of your guys' phone calls coming up next. 97.1.
Hey, you may have heard me talk about Fanatics Sportsbooks, one-of-a-kind fair play injury protection. It's the best in the game. Last Thursday, proved the point. Green Bay and Washington, star receiver goes down in the first quarter with an injury. Not only did Fanatics Fair Play void all affected straight bets instantly, but if that prop was part of a parlay or single game parlay your bet was played on, no waiting around with your bet stuck in limo. No. They took care of it. I got the numbers here. Fanatic Sportsbook Fair Play policy saved 21% of all single game parlays in the Green Bay Washington game. That's legendary. This injury would have made you lose most on most of your sports books. But why risk it with bets that you don't have to? Fanatics first half fair play all season long, every game. I'm telling you, winning just hits different with Fanatic Sportsbooks. You got to be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatics app for details.
$5 o'clock. Good to have you. your Tigers panic meter. And again, I don't think there's any panic about making the playoffs. Fangraphs, 96% chance you're making it. I'm not doing that show. The panic resides in A, you got swept out of your own yard. Your lead's down to 3.5. The bye, right? That top 2 seed, the coveted seed. You were a mortal certainty for it. You're now below a 50% chance to clinch that. That is concerning. My panic about the bye week is about a 7. I'm not going to do panic about playoffs. If they go out this weekend and get knocked around by Atlanta, we're going to have a way different conversation. The other issue today, Colt Keith is hurt. A.J. Hinch termed it very concerning. And what's really concerning is just this team is doing nothing well. Mm-hmm. So here we are, and we're talking to you guys about it. Rico, did I miss anything there, pal?
No, that's it, except for your apology to Prince.
What'd you just say?
I said, except for your apology to Prince.
I can't do that. I just don't like his catalog. 248-539-9797. All right, to the people. It's okay. Let's go to Dale, 97.1. Dale, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, fellas? I can say with a clear conscience, I am a very disgusted 9 on the panic meter with this team. They just look flat, disinterested, worn out. I mean, there's a lot of different adjectives, but they look like a team that's going to limp to the finish line. And I understand the analytics and making the playoffs. Even if they do, I think it's going to be a quick exit. They look like a team that just ran out of gas and doesn't have the horses to really be competitive in the playoffs. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would be more surprised at this point if they made the ALCS than, honestly, than anything else. They're just not. Nothing's working, Dale. Like, nothing looks right. And I mean, even Flaherty or Mize, like, they pitched well. I don't think they were great. And then you start to look at the playoffs and you look at the lineup.
Yeah.
And I mean, man, if you face, like, all right, the Yankees are clearly an imperfect team. And I've said this. The Yankees season to me was over the minute Garrett Cole died in spring training. But the top 2 in their order, guess what? Max Fried, lefty. Carlos Rodon, lefty. So what? You're just not going to play Kerry Carpenter the first 2 games of a series?
Yeah.
And Riley against lefties this year? He's approaching a sub-200 hitter. What are you going to do? That's the problem. Let's go to Nick, 97.1. Nick, what's going on, pal?
How we doing, gentlemen?
Hey, Nick.
Panic button for me with the Tigers hasn't even turned on yet. My panic button and the fact that I'm pouring a Dasani, my coolant reservoir at the moment is about 7. But I just don't know what's going on. Why are we freaking out here? What is the, the calling for a job or, hey, things aren't going right? These guys are making the playoffs. Am I correct?
Yes.
You get yourself into a slump with your neighbor ball club that's got your number at the moment. So who's the leader on the team? And I ask that in genuine curiosity because my Tigers now just kind of fell to the wayside after the Red Sox and David Ortiz put us to shame. But
you don't have anybody. You don't have anybody like that. That's a Hall of Fame player. I think the collective strength of this team is every guy in that clubhouse knows they play a role. That's the leader.
So there's not one guy that's going to go out and be accountable. That's visibly going to be verbal with somebody. Maybe
well, then it's
somebody out on the bench.
Well, then it's Skubal. So that's your leader.
Okay.
Look, Jim Leland always used to say this. My best leaders are my best players. Mm-hmm. Nobody's listening to a guy hitting 219.
Yeah,
so your leaders have to be your best players.
Okay, well, and then that's why I'm asking. I mean, who's the guy that's going to sit there and be accountable? Take it and say, hey, I'm not playing great, but you know what? You're not playing great as well. I'm not pointing the finger. I'm pointing it at myself. But I'm saying, all of us got to make a difference. Yep. Who's doing that? You're saying Strubal's that guy?
Yeah, but the problem is no one's playing well. So it's a meaningless conversation. Listen, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but hold on, please.
Not at all.
I want to explain this to you. And if you think I'm in outer space or any other callers do, I'll own that. I think the most overrated thing in sports in 2025 is the locker room speech, is the players-only meeting. I think it is nothing more than movie magic. These guys know what they need to do.
But it's not, though. If you have a leader that's going to say, hey, guys, like, something's got to change here because
okay, so time out. I'll give you an example.
Nobody's going to start.
I'll give you a real example. The Miami Dolphins had a players-only meeting this week. How'd that go? They got beat at home by the Patriots.
No, the Miami Dolphins are irrelevant in Miami.
No, it's very relevant. It's professional sports. They had a players-only meeting.
Yeah,
they lost.
It's Miami, Florida. We're in Michigan. The only Dolphins I care about are the ones at SeaWorld.
Okay, I tried. You're missing the principle. I'm not telling you that this is the Hank Goldberg radio show in Miami. I'm trying to make you understand players-only meetings, managers blowing up teams. It's movie stuff. What do you think? Tom Berenger's going to stand up with his balls out and say, let's win the whole effing thing? Yeah. And we're just going to win the last 9 games of the season?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Why don't we put – actually, I was just about to use an example, and that would have gone poorly. Let me stay away from that. Listen, I just think you're overrating it. These guys are pros. You know who the leader is? A.J. Hinch. You don't think A.J. holds him accountable? At a certain point, the whole lineup blows.
Yeah.
That's going to turn into an Abbott and Costello routine.
Yeah.
You stink. No, you stink. We all stink.
Well, here's the thing. The players only meeting and all of that, the leaders, well, there's going to be 29 teams that all had leaders that stood up at some point. And what happened?
Thank you very much for that.
Yes.
248-539-9797.
Win one for the Gipper, guys. Let's do this.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love Brian Piccolo. Like,
the only Dolphins I care about are at SeaWorld.
He didn't understand what I was trying to say. It wasn't about asking him to care about Tyreek Hill. I'm saying in real life, real time, this week, what you wanted happened. It did nothing.
And here's the thing. If you need to have the players only meeting, the rally the troop, the win one for the Gipper speech now, then what does that tell me about your team? You should have been locked in and focused. You should be ready to go. You don't need a speech. Your speech is every day when AJ hands out the lineup card and you see where you're batting and where you're playing. That's your speech.
Can we go to Brad, please? 97.1. Brad, what's going on, buddy? How you doing?
How's it going, guys?
Good.
So my 2 questions about this is we have a strong enough lineup most of the time. And I was at the game today. I was enjoying it. And I just can't seem to understand why we keep pinch hitting Andy Ibanez.
Well, because in their world, he kills lefties. So he's a matchup exclusive player like Jahmai Jones.
I like watching Jahmai Jones.
Okay.
It's just different when you have Meadows as the leadoff and he's the fastest guy. He gets on base. He got a walk and a stolen base. And you get to Ibanez and he doesn't really do much.
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and vilify him. I think the fact that we have conversations in this town about players like Andy Ibanez or like Zach McKinstry, or like face of franchise Matt Vierling, or like Jahmai Jones, or like pinch hitting Jake effing Rogers. I did not have that on my bingo card. Look, that's the issue. Yeah. I have said this until I'm blue in the face. I can appreciate the style of ball. I can appreciate maximizing opportunity and roster optimization. I can appreciate that you can win games. What I can't appreciate is the sobering truth that no team playing this style of ball has ever won a World Series. Ever. The best you could offer me would be fake COVID, and the Rays got there and lost.
No,
that's the problem. Yeah. And I have a hard time getting around it because I know I'm cynical and go back to New York. Respect.
Trust me, this weekend will dictate the show on Monday because, unfortunately, you didn't get that game, and you're playing a team that's on a 5-game winning streak. You got to put an end to that quick, fast, and in a hurry. get your confidence back, and try to get ready and try to hold on to one of those buys so that you don't have to play in the 3-game series.
Actually, I have an idea. We need Pedro Serrano, and we got to get Joe Boo his rum. That'll do it. Leadership.
Hats.
Jock straps.
For bats.
Right. Hats for bats. All right, I'll leave it alone. All right, Thursday, your chance to hit the jackpot on FanDuel. With FanDuel's Thursday touchdown jackpot, you win a share of $2 million. Bonus bets each week. To get in on it, it's simple. You place an anytime touchdown score before the game kicks off. You got to get the first or last TD of the game. That's the rub. FanDuel.com/ticket. Take a shot at the jackpot. It's FanDuel.com/ticket. Your chance to win a share of $2 million. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 and up, present in Michigan. Opt-in is required. You got to apply the Profit Boost token on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who make the correct first or last TD pick. Bonus issued, non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms. Sportsbook.fanduel.com. You got a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Oh, I see what you did there. David, come on. I wasn't trying to be mean. I got frustrated. That's all.
No, I'm just playing it as a reference. That's all.
Couple of tickets. Okay, we've lost cabin pressure. A couple of ticket texts, and I'm going to go right back to the people. Your panic level with the team. I've given you the playoff odds. No, there's no panic. This weekend goes poorly. We're having a different convo. It's about the bye and a top 2 seed. First time in months, you're sub 50% to hold on to that spot. I do think that's catastrophic. Go ahead, David.
My panic level is at a 0 because they'll make the playoffs and get mollywopped in the first round. So who cares? Okay.
All right. Hey, remember I said there'd be a portion of the fan base who would feel that way?
Yes.
Case in point. Hats for bats.
Biggest game of the year. Biggest game of the year, and you pull your best pitcher after 6 innings and bring in this lousy bullpen?
Stop. You can't let emotion get in the way of data. Skubal had thrown 102 pitches. This isn't Justin Verlander. It's not 2014. You can't do that. If you're mad he came out in the 6th, be angry at him for having a 30-pitch inning and a 20-pitch inning and not putting guys away with 2 strikes.
See, but yet again, the people in that texter is wrong. Is mad at the wrong thing. Shouldn't be upset that Skubal was taken out. He only gave up 1 run.
Right.
Be upset with the offense that they didn't help him.
No, but they're saying leave him in there because he only given up 1 run. And look, we're transitioning, David. A lot of these fans still remember the days of Justin Verlander. We're going to go out there. I'm going to pitch a complete game. I dare you to try to take this ball away from me.
But he could have pitched 11 innings. They weren't scoring.
That's factual.
Tigers' approach to hitting is boom or bust. What I would do for a Placido Polanco on this team right now. Oh, my.
Oh, if you're wishing for him, good God.
Give me a final game of the season where the Tigers are battling for the division. Boston is fighting to keep the last wild card spot, and Bregman steps up to the plate in the 9th and watch his fan base erupt. That was sent from Jeff Rieger.
Wow. I cannot hit the curveball. Straight ball. I hit it very much.
John in Lake Orion says, on a scale of 1 to 10, I am definitely at a 10. The amount of goodwill this team generated will go out the window with a 3-game series loss this weekend.
Okay, Rico, spin the wheel. You choose the caller.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
We'll go to Kevin. Kevin, you're on 97.1.
Thank you, gentlemen, for taking my call. It's a great privilege to be on the air with you guys, man. Most of what I wanted to say has already been said. The fact of the matter is I'm at about a 10, but at the same time, I'm at a weird place in which I don't care. They told us what they were early in the season, right before the trade deadline, and so now we're all surprised that they're playing below. That they're playing like they're playing. I'm really not. They told us that they weren't going to try to do anything, and really I'm more upset at myself for the copium, just thinking that something would change. They did nothing to change. They did the same thing that the Lions have done, and we'll be having this same conversation in about 2 months about the Lions. The problem is that the fans are being taken for a ride right here. They told us last year, oh, we're great, it's great, we're great. And now all of a sudden, the ticket prices have went up. The seats that were devoted to the fans have now been incorporated out. And we're sitting here waiting for what? Waiting for things to change? Nothing's going to change. They told us who they were, and I'm mad at myself. Yeah, I'm at a 10, but I'm kind of like, well, whatever. Y'all already let us know. All right, gentlemen, thanks for taking my call. I'm out.
But right there, Rico, what did I say to you? This is what's happening in the streets. Like, you'll have your diehards, right? You'll have your people being like, oh, golly gee, the last 9 games are going to be awfully exciting now. Okay, put those people over to the left. Then you're going to have a vast middle of people who are just like, yeah, I just want to watch football. Mm-hmm. And then you'll just get the people who are just absurdly negative and think they're going to miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is what happens. And look, he brought up ticket pricing. He brought up the trade deadline. It all comes back to roost.
Yeah.
And the problem is eventually you got to plant a flag and show your fans you're all in. And I think every fan in this town, like, look, a lot of people love the Tigers and Lions. What's the theme there? Neither of them went all in. So there's a cumulative, and a lot of times people probably take their frustration from one team and put it on the other. But it's real. I'm telling you, we're going to get a ton of calls.
Or hear me out.
Bats for bats.
You just kind of see like, oh, so this was on the agenda last Monday at the Coney Island. This is what we're going to do. You're right, because when you're winning, you could put aside all of the trade deadlines and you didn't go out and get the bat or the arm or the edge rusher. But once you stop winning and then reality kicks back in, you realize we didn't get the arm. We didn't get the bat. We didn't get this. And you know what? I'm paying too much for these tickets. And all of the things that you forgot about or you pushed to the side. You didn't forget about them. You pushed them to the side because the team was winning. They didn't go anywhere. They were just over in the corner. You threw a blanket over it.
Let's go to Kurt, 97.1. Curtis, what's the good word, brother?
Hey, good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm going to bring this back a little bit to, I don't want to be the echo chamber, but you talk about superstars on a team. The one thing that I saw today was not only offense, Jose Ramirez, hitting a 2-run dinger to win the game, but his backhanded catch down the third baseline. And then I watched Colt Keith, like the Three Stooges, hit a fucking
whoa. All right.
Okay.
Just a bit outside.
That's for bats.
Keep
That's
bats
for
warm.
bats. I will just tell the people the emotion got a little high, and we had to say goodbye. Wasn't directed at us either, so I think you know where that was going. All right, let's go to Ed, 97.1. Eddie, what's going on, buddy?
Let me read some ticket text here.
Oh, all right.
What's even the point in making the playoffs? Because we're getting bumped in the first round. This is upsetting.
Time out. Hold on. No. Nona's got something to say here. See, this is the problem. All year, I get vilified for saying the playoffs ain't nothing. It's championship or bust. You tell me I'm a bad guy. Now you want to turn around and tell me the playoffs aren't good enough, or what's the point if we're not really going to try to win it? Come on, man. Come on now. It's the same crap I go through with MSU fans. Same crap I go through with Lion fans. You got to pick. Set your standard. Stick to it.
The standard of making the playoffs was fun last year because you hadn't made it in a long time. I get it. There was excitement in the city. There was buzz because you came back and you did the impossible. You were left for dead. You traded. You sold at the deadline. You're one of your stars.
Totally acceptable.
Yes.
It was euphoria. It was a Disney movie. When you're sitting with the best record in baseball and you had a 15.5-game lead in the division, yeah, I'm sorry. It's World Series or bust. It started with the deadline where I'm telling you, I think organizationally they just went, nope, we're not ready.
No.
And, yep, enjoy your ham or whatever Doug tells people.
All right, let's go back to the callers, Mike.
It's time for Gators Rant.
Just need my time.
Okay.
Hats for bats.
Oh.
Keep bats warm.
Are you guys?
I hit straight ball very much.
All right, let's go to Bill. Bill, you're at 97.1.
Okay, guys, you want to hear from a Cleveland fan? I've been here in Detroit 35 years, watching the Guardians all these years. You guys don't need to panic. I agree with Mike. It's unsustainable. They've been playing out of their shoes for 2 weeks. We have one of the lowest batting averages in the American League, if not dead last. We're like 2 from the bottom. But the difference is when Ortiz and Clase went down for gambling, they brought up a bunch of kids who got their first chance, and they brought up a couple pitchers. And we are still pissed off about Josh Naylor being traded. Last year, we got nothing for him, basically, except for Cantillo, which is a good pitcher. But you guys should not panic because we're 3.5 out. It's a bridge too far. We just want to get that wild card if it's possible. And everybody's basically written off Cleveland back home weeks ago. They stuck a fork in them. And I don't know how this thing is going to be sustainable because they play Minnesota, who's not playing well. I'll be surprised if we take 3 out of 4 there. If not, go
now,
2-2.
listen, here's the deal. The weekend is going to determine everything. Because if the Tigers don't win games, full stop, and the Guards do their thing against a bad Minnesota team, it's going to be a totally different conversation. But understand, the panic here, at least from this radio show, it's not about not making the playoffs. It's about losing that top 2 seed.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. You guys are going to win
the problem.
You guys will win the division. I'm pretty confident of that. People in Cleveland know it, too. We're just as shocked as you guys are that we won today. Believe me.
Yeah, and over your last 15 games, you've given up more than 2 runs twice. Not sustainable.
However, look, what's also not sustainable is we only score about 2 or 3 a game, too.
Yeah.
We know. And you know what kills me is they brought up Noel. I could not believe he hit a homer today. That guy has been terrible all year. He was supposed to fill in the shoes for Josh Naylor. He's been awful.
He stayed back on a 2-strike changeup, and he just golfed it out.
It's amazing, but I agree with you that we're waiting for the shoe to drop. I cannot believe that they're really streaky this year. The bottom could drop out.
And again, it's the byproduct of a really bad division because you know this. The Guards have been terrible largely all season. Any other real division, they'd be nowhere close. But welcome to the AL Comedy Central.
Yeah, every year. Just a new team in front. All right.
Hats for bets.
Specs at LTU is dedicated to inspiring and educating and equipping future leaders in media arts with the skills needed to succeed in a rapidly evolving industry. If you're looking for a career in the entertainment field, whether it's radio, TV, or graphic design artist, let Specs at LTU get you started on your career path. It's very simple. They're located right here in the city of Southfield on the campus of Lawrence Tech. You're going to be taught by instructors who work in the business. They're going to teach you what they know. They're not going to waste your time because you're going to learn from the hands-on approach in the lab what it takes to make it in the field. So you need to hurry up to sign up for the broadcast media arts, digital media arts, or graphics media arts program because spots are filling up for the winter semester. So you need to make an appointment today with an admissions counselor to discuss your next steps. Go to admissions@ltu.edu. That's admissions@ltu.edu or 1-800-CALL-LTU.
All right, let's get to the people. Tigers, man, good God. Swept out, 3.5-game lead. Atlanta's on deck. Just win a couple games. Otherwise, Monday's going to be a whole different type of show. But the only concern for me is you put your ass in the jackpot as far as holding on to that bye, that top 2 seed. You are a less than a coin flip shot at doing it. Mm-hmm. Unthinkable. But the playoffs, no, I'm not doing that type of rate. They're getting in. But now you want to talk about whether you think they're doing anything? What the hell am I going to tell you? Other than, puck luck, playoff weird, hats for bats. I got nothing.
All right, you ready to go to phone calls?
Yeah, dealer's choice, Rico. Go ahead.
Tom, you're on 97.1.
Hey, guys. I got to say, my panic level is probably about a 12 right now. And what I think is funny is the guy who was going off about the locker room meeting. I'm a Dolphins fan, so I was laughing when you guys were talking about having a locker room meeting. Yeah, if you need to have a locker room meeting after leading the entire way when it's, 9 games to go, maybe this just shows that we were all led amok, ran astray.
No, I mean, Tom, listen, it's tough to tell people when you're 20 games over that I don't think your team's very good. But baseball is a different sport because the season is so damn long. I mean, Tom, think about the events that have happened in your life since April or May.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a long time ago. We see it occasionally in the NFL. A team will start out red hot first 10, 11 weeks. And then they're a clown car on fire in the month of December, and they're out in the wild card. Mm-hmm. It's a long year, but baseball, that is the longest road of all.
Well, no,
they haven't.
No, I was going to say, I think David said it best. What you don't want to be is going NFL. You don't want to be the Minnesota Vikings of last year, where you never really bought into. They kept winning games, but you didn't really buy into the team. And I know, ginger quarterback, follow the circle.
No. Say. Your point is rock solid. Therefore, I don't even need to say the Sam Darnold part.
Okay. Just making sure. But yes, that's all. It's you don't want to, because at that point, there was no payoff to the season. At least the Lions at 15-2, you thought that this team was going to do it. Minnesota, no one really bought in and said, you know what, I think this team could win the Super Bowl. It was like, yeah, they got a great record, but I don't know, man. I think I'd rather play them. And I think a lot of teams are saying, you know what, if we could get past the Super Bowl start, we may be okay if we play the Tigers in the playoffs.
Go to Phillip, 97.1.
No Phillip, Mike, but how
My
about
bad.
No, that's okay. How about we do Mason? Mason, you're
Sure.
97.1.
Hey, what's up, guys? How we doing?
Hey.
Mace, what's going on, buddy?
I have kind of a cool analogy to describe all of the Detroit sports teams besides the Lions, and it ties into the Tigers really well.
Okay.
And I was kind of thinking, back during COVID, all of the businesses had to raise their prices to an insane amount because they said it was because of COVID. And then when COVID was done, they realized, people still bought these products or services at an insane price. And I think it ties into the Tigers because they realize, and so do the Red Wings and kind of the Pistons, as long as we're not bottom 5 in the league, people are still going to pack the stadium and they're going to support the team. So I don't think there's ever any urgency to actually put out a guaranteed playoff team or a guaranteed championship team. And I think it ties into the Tigers because they had a super good first half of the season, and then the general manager comes out at the trade deadline and says, no, we're not going to add anybody, and he got 5 nobodies besides Kyle Finnegan.
Okay, I mean, there's an element of truth to it, and what I would say is, no, I don't think collectively, you'd get away with this in a city like Philly or New York or Boston, etc. But here's the other side of it. And this is where people get tripped out. It's not an insult. It's a statement of fact. You need an owner who's kind of a fan if you want them to make decisions that hurt their bottom line. When your owner is a businessman, which the Illiches are, they run a business. This isn't the old man anymore. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get that. You're not going to see the Tigers have a $220 million payoff. It's never going to happen. They got a business to run. They don't have some great TV deal. They don't have some mega, they don't own their own network.
True.
Now, again, it's easy for me to say it. God, I wish I owned this team. I'd run it a lot different. You'd run it a lot different, Mace. You're never getting that here. Now, you can win if you have a top half payroll, and they're right on the fringe of that. They might actually be in the top half. But you're not going to win operating from a baseball perspective, playing this kind of you're not going to win a World Series playing this way. I would just be in disbelief if a team where your best player doesn't play against lefties and you're relying upon these quad A baseball players in high leverage spots for the seminal at bat of the season, and it's, Jahmai Jones.
Brother, like I said, I said it before. You become the Cardinals, or as you said, Mike, you're the 2020 Rays, where you're that anomaly team that people will bring up every year. Well, the Tigers did it. Right,
and what'd the Rays do? They got served up for sacrifice to the Dodgers. Mm-hmm. So that's the problem. So, again, my issue is from an attitude standpoint in this town. No front office seems to be all in to win. We are told we have a plan. You people just need to sit there and enjoy it. And we'll be ready when we're ready. That's what you're being told. It's what you got told by the Pistons, who is the most defensible of the group, by the way. You got told that by the Lions. You definitely got told about the Tigers. And Lord knows with Yzerman's comments yesterday.
10 years.
Oh, baby.
10 years.
Here's a hot bowl of nothing. Signed, Kenny Cott. He nailed it.
Just make sure you're on time for the next Coney meeting. That's all.
Got it. You got it, buddy. 248-539-9797. We've mentioned Northville Lumber for a long time. Largest Trex decking outlet in the country. And Northville is Michigan's Trex Superstore. They stock all colors, Trex decking, railing, lighting. They have it all the time. Absolute lowest prices. So whether you're a builder, a do-it-yourselfer, you can count on Northville to have everything you need when you need it. Plan it, build it, buy it. Do it where the pros do. It's Northville Lumber, Michigan's Trex Superstore, or simply go to northvillelumber.com. That's northvillelumber.com. All right. You got Rieger and Woj, both joining us. Rieger was at the ballpark, so he'll have some added color for you guys. I was texting a little bit with him during the game. I heard he had a bathroom mishap, too.
I don't know about all of that. I just know
not as in like he messed himself. He was having a hard time finding like paper towels or something. He had to wipe his hands on his pants. Poor Jeff. Just poor guy.
So he looked like he messed himself. Oh, okay.
Yeah, kind of. He had a rough day at the park. But look, I'm very, and again, the Colt Keith thing, don't bury a headline either. AJ said, quote, it's very concerning. Now, if you're without Colt Keith and you're not gonna play Carp versus lefties, and Riley can't hit lefty, I mean, what are we doing here? Yeah, you better hope Keith's okay.
Yeah, Mike, I'm with you, because if not, once again, I would love for Monday's show to just be, hey, we're talking about the Ravens and Lions and not about what the hell just happened here.
I know.
You don't want to be Minnesota from last year.
No. David, a few ticket texts as the guys kind of get settled in.
My panic level is the same as Mike's panic level with Clemson possibly not winning the Natty. You had a panic level there?
I have no panic level.
Okay, they didn't think so.
I had a bad guess for who was going to win it. They tanked, and now they're headed for a Rupert Murdoch-type divorce. This Clemson and Dabo thing's going to be a nasty divorce. You take the airline miles.
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
That's right. That's going to be Clemson and Dabo. Go comatose.
Hillbilly.
Wow. If Colt is done, it is inexcusable to not see what McGonigal can do, or at least Anderson. If these guys can be traded, then the time is now. Too late.
If you wanted that, you needed them up by 11:59 on August 31st.
Yeah, it's too late. Be upset at the offense for doing nothing in the early innings. Torque double, multiple base runners, and no outs, and come away with one run.
No, this game primarily was lost. What was it? Third, fourth inning. You get a leadoff double. You end up with a couple guys on, nobody out. You don't score. Like, you don't have margin. And I know Bybee's been bad in the second half, but you know the way the Guardians are rolling, and Bybee's been good the last couple starts. You're not good enough to just hand away innings.
I'm done with the Tigers. Ready for the real playoff chase. Go Wings. That is AD in this Tigers traffic.
Okay.
Can someone hire the Etsy witch that voodooed the Mariners to a 10-game winning streak? That sounds pretty good about right now for me. That is from Tom. Who says, quote, I like watching Jahmai Jones. Said nobody ever. That is Joe in Livonia. I am more disgusted at Mike's Prince comments than the Tigers being swept, but my panic level is at a 5. They'll make it, but not a deep run.
I have nothing I can say. Music is subjective, and I subjectively think that Prince sucks. Or sucked. He's dead. All right, let's take it easy, because Superfan over there is actively wearing a cravat.
My concern is at an 8. Still up 3.5 from last time I said it, but they are not playing good baseball right now. If they don't win the Central, it will be a horrible season in my eyes.
Yeah, but what is again, the winning the Central thing? It's the World Series or nothing. That's it. There is nothing else. Last year was your Disney movie where it was just fun and we got in and it's cute. It's the World Series or nothing. I mean, at a minimum, it's make the ALCS or nothing. Otherwise, what was it for?
Correct. We've seen the whole week. Let's just make the playoffs and see what happens. It was fun, but higher expectations. You don't believe me? It's what happened with the Lions. They made the playoffs, and then the next year was higher expectations. And that's where I think a lot of Tigers fans are. Well, now here comes Rieger and Wojo.
Panic and Tiger. Oh, sorry, that's on my line.
Are you done with your show you had with Kenny?
You know, Wojo, the eternal optimist, just told me something, which I didn't think was possible. The Guardians, if they were to get swept by the Twins, they have a 4-game series, double dip this weekend, and the Tigers were to sweep your Braves, then they could still celebrate Sunday at Comerica Park.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening, though. If I had to guess right now, Jeffrey, I don't think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You know that commercial you do talking about herbs and spices?
Oh,
yeah, you're going to be on some herbs with that time.
Oh, boy. Yeah, it's a little bit of panic in Tiger Town.
The only panic we've sold just before you defame us is about the top 2 seed. Fangraphs updated, 42% shot now.
Wow.
That is slipping away. Nothing. They're going to make the
And
playoffs.
Seattle won again today.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to make the playoffs. Well, I mean,
but
if
this weekend goes the wrong way, no, we'll do different shows because those numbers will violently shift.
They will.
So I just looked at the Braves
Numbers
starting
are mean
rotation.
that way. Yeah.
Like they're going against Joey Wentz on Saturday. They're going against 2 guys with 5.5 ERAs, and then of course Spencer Strider. So if they don't win tomorrow and Saturday, then maybe they are the Minnesota Twins of last year.
But you know what this is? Tell me if you agree there, Michael.
Sure.
And I don't think this is like some, oh, my God, we've never seen a great team collapse like this before. It's unbelievable. It's what we've said all along. They're only on the cusp of being a really good team. They're not a great team.
And again, I know you agree with me. We agree. I think Scott Harris told you what he really thought.
Exactly.
Yeah,
no,
you're right. At the deadline.
And nobody liked it. I get that. But, I mean, I didn't think they really had the horses to go for it. But, hey, they kept winning, so.
Hey, but look on the bright side. These last 9 games are sure going to be exciting.
Oh, I know.
Andy leaving the park. I mean,
I heard that.
I'm sorry, but Bob, come on. You're Mr. Positivity. Not a single fan in this town had that take leaving that game or watching that game.
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
No, that didn't hit the right chord.
I
don't
didn't hear
think.
it. I was at the game.
Oh, yeah. No, I heard it.
Hey, how'd the bathroom mishap go? Did you ever find any paper towel? You okay?
I'm okay. Thanks for asking.
What?
All right.
What?
You know, I was worried about him. He had a problem. He couldn't find it.
Yeah.
He was like Jeff Daniels in Dumb and Dumber.
The paper towel dispensers were not working.
Wait.
In the media bathroom.
Did he take his phone into the bathroom again?
No. I texted these guys afterwards. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Just want to make sure you were okay.
I am okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for worrying about me.
The bathroom was
These guys are going to talk Tigers.
Yes,
We're going to be back with a Football Friday tomorrow.
Woo!
Rico?
Yes, sir.
Take it home.
Bats for bats. I hit the straight ball very much. All right. We'll talk to everybody tomorrow. 97.1.